Claire Baker, former clutterholic, founder of clutterclearing.net, bringing you a vlog video. Having not done one for quite a while, for which I do apologise. Life has been hectic and life has been challenging, but I am making the most of this weather. It's glorious. There is barely, well, there's no clouds in the sky. There are a few wisps. In fact, it's so sunny that I'm not wearing my glasses because my glasses are the reactive ones and they turn black in the sunlight. So I'd look like I was in the mafia. So I thought I'd take them off. I can't see a thing now, but I've got a rough idea where to press the button to end the video. It really does enhance my mood. I am strongly affected by the weather. We've got frogs spawn in the pond. All the frogs have disappeared, more or less overnight. We had about 200 in there at one point. And there are buds on the trees and spring is giving it a really good go. And it makes such a difference. Really, I said to my husband this morning, if we could move abroad for 6 months of the year and take the cats with us, I would do that. Because I am so strongly affected in terms of motivation, in terms of a sense of hope by the weather. And there is a saying, isn't there, about, it goes along the lines of, winter, it looks like there's no hope because it looks like everything's sort of dead in the garden. Yet spring reminds us that there is always hope and that things can always change. Well, that's been very much how I have felt, especially in terms of my weight loss clutter clearing journey. I have really struggled with sticking with the program since about the beginning of December. There were things going on in my personal life which shook me too, and realizing or being reminded, I knew it, but being reminded that when I feel unsettled, my eating gets unsettled. When I feel uncomfortable and insecure, I turn to food. But also being reminded of just how addicted to sugar and carbs I am. I'll give you an example. Last Tuesday, I was doing my monthly panellist spot on BBC Radio Oxford. Now, for a variety of reasons, my husband dropped me off at the studio and I was doing the panellist for an hour. Great. Now, it's in a place called Summertown in Oxford. Now, literally, you can see the school that I went to, my senior school. So I know Summertown quite well. And he went off to do a job and he thought, oh, it won't be long, I'll pick you up on the way back. Nah, I finished at 11 o'clock. He finished at 1 o'clock. I had 2 hours. So it was like, no, that's fine. I'll go to a coffee shop. I'll have a cup of tea. So I went to a coffee shop and I had a cup of tea and the time was passing and I know I don't need to, but I felt guilty for only having a cup of tea. So I went and got another cup of tea. And I got a piece of cake as well. Now, these coffee shops, especially these chain ones, basically they are carb and sugar shops. There's nothing in there that would be suitable for me to eat. But I had another cup of tea and I felt guilty for only having tea. So I bought a piece of cake and of course I did. Yeah, I ate it. So then that took up about, I suppose I spent about 3/4 of an hour in one coffee shop. So then I wandered up the high street, looked in the property shops. Love to live in Summertown. Again, I loved it when I was at school there. A really good vibe. Oxford has a lovely vibe as well. And ended up, and then I was thinking, right, let's get something for lunch because it's near lunchtime. Looked at the menus and all the restaurants and cafes, and it's like, no, there's nothing. It's a lot of pasta, a lot of potato type things. No, ended up in the other chain coffee shop, and I don't know. Probably me. My weakness had gone by that point, or having the piece of cake in the other coffee shop had triggered that button of craving carbs and sugar. So I had, what did I have? I think I had a panini bread, carbs, and was it? I think a cinnamon roll, sugar and carbs. And I was eating it going, I know I don't need this. I know I don't want this. But I'm still eating it. And felt really, really guilty. Now, fine. It was carbs and sugar overload. It was just one period of time. It's only 2 hours. My husband picked me up a couple of hours after I'd finished. But it then took me quite a few days to get over the cravings. And on Thursday, last Thursday, I actually went, right, I'm going to see if Sainsbury's, the supermarket, can do a delivery tomorrow. It was Good Friday. I thought maybe all the spots will be taken. Thankfully, they had a delivery slot available on Good Friday. So I did a big shop and I made sure that there were loads of suitable foods in the house over Easter weekend. And so on Friday, the food was delivered. Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I was eating too much, but I was eating the right food. And it was only Monday that I felt that I got back on track. Feel great now. Feel lightheaded, not lightheaded, but I don't feel bloated, I don't feel sluggish, I don't feel tired. It's taken me that long to get it out my system. But again, like many, I'm sure, I felt so guilty. And then the guilt seemed to fuel the resolution to not eat carbs and sugar. So a few things did creep in. Admittedly, we didn't have a lot of food in the house either. It was mainly my husband's carbs and sugar food. So, you know, again, once that motivation, or not motivation, once that it's like a seal. Once that was broken, it was really hard to get back on track. But I was proud of myself for having done the shopping and got delivery on Good Friday, so at least I wasn't tempted to carry on eating my husband's carbs and sugars. Coupled with that, so that's good. I feel like I'm back on track. We do this next Monday. Next Monday is my husband's birthday, so we're going down to mother-in-law on Sunday, and she's taking us out for a meal. And I've already checked with the restaurant that they are doing their normal menu, because we're going to the same restaurant we went to on Mother's Day. And on Mother's Day, they did a special Mother's Day set menu, and there was nothing on that menu that was suitable for me to eat. So I ended up eating carbs and sugar. Whereas I've checked that they've got their regular menu, and it's fine. They have steak and chips. So I will have the steak. I will give the chips to my husband. That's what we do. That's fine. So I've kind of planned ahead. So I feel good about that. But another thing that's made a huge difference actually is I'm back on the weekly counselling. And I don't know why, but that is making a difference. Because it's just offloading and having the help to get it back into perspective is making a difference. Who knew that actually fortnightly counselling doesn't help keep me on track, but weekly does? But then again, I have clients who say exactly the same thing. They say the weekly accountability call with me means that they do it, and they get into the routine. And then when people have finished the 90-day journey, one of the things that's frustrating me at the moment is that they don't continue with help beyond that. And I know that they are not yet in a point where they have their habits really grounded in. And so they say, oh, I'll be fine, I'll just have a monthly call. Well, I don't offer a monthly call option, because I know that you need it every week. Even if you are doing on your own, you still need that weekly accountability. So I shouldn't be that surprised, because it's so parallel with the clutter clearing journey. Talking of which, there's also been shifts with that over the last couple of months. As you may know, I have 10 Success Club members for 2018, determined clutterholics who are committed to spending a year following a programme of how to clear their clutter, of doing, of getting the support and help. And we've just completed the 3rd month, and they are doing so well. And we started off, if you imagine driving, you start off in 1st gear, don't you? And you work your way up to 5th gear. We are now in 3rd gear. they are just about to start doing some actual clutter clearing. We spent 3 months essentially doing preparation. They've spent the first month becoming aware of what was going on with their clutter conveyor belt. They spent the second month, what have they just done? Yes, they controlling their accumulation. Actually, no, we're in the middle of some foundation knowledge. So later this month, that is when they will start with their actual clutter clearing. And this is working so much better because they're building up the amount of time that they spend in their clutter clearing slowly and gradually. They're building up their knowledge. They're getting control of different things. We're not in a panic to try and get it done as quickly as possible. Whereas with the 90-day journey, which I've been offering, we've got started on the actual clutter clearing within 10 days. And I now realise that does not work. That is not sustainable. Working in the way that I'm working with my Success Club clients is working. It's great. The motivation is there. They're getting certificates of completion to say you have control of the accumulation area of the conveyor belt. You know, so it's made me realise that I need to roll this out on a bigger scale. And it's also made me realise that I really enjoy working with the chronic clutterholics and the borderline hoarders. So there are some changes that are going to be happening with clutter clearing over the next month or so. So there's been some fairly major shifts in both personal with the weight loss journey and in professional. And the spring and the summer of my weight loss journey and of clutter clearing are looking good. As is the garden. I rewarded myself 2 weeks ago. I've bought only a couple of plants for the garden, which is that's my favourite. Well, that's my favourite reward in terms of spending money. But my favourite reward, just in general, is sitting out here for 15 minutes. It just really does recharge me. I've got a dwarf rhododendron going down in the garden, and foxgloves I've ordered, which are really good for the bees and the butterflies. Really need to help. I've got a baking tray on the side down there with sugar mixed in, because the bees really need that at this time of year. There isn't enough blossom around. We've got loads of birds coming as well. The blue tits, the robins, the chaffinches, the blackbird. He keeps coming back. So it's just we're on the horizon of an abundance of new growth, and I feel like that's kind of happening both with the weight loss journey and clutter clearing. I have lost a couple of pounds. I lost a pound this week, and I lost 1.5 pounds last week, which I was really surprised at, given that I kind of went off the rails with carbs and sugar. But I'm not focused on the number at the moment. I'm focused on feeling better, getting with the right foods, and that's okay. So yeah, I'm feeling really, really hopeful. Hopefully you are too. I hope spring is giving it a good go wherever you live as well. So sorry, once again, long-winded video, but I hope it kind of explains why I've been a bit quiet. Because work is busy. You know, my 10 clients on the Success Club is just so inspiring. Seeing the progress that they are making, and they haven't even done any clutter clearing yet. But a couple of them have already saved over £100 $100 a week on their outgoings, just by getting control of their accumulation area of their clutter conveyor belt. That is truly inspiring, I think. So yeah, it's exciting. All right, I'm going to love you and leave you. I might spend another couple of minutes just sitting in the sun, enjoying it while I can. I will bring you another video, probably in a couple of weeks, rather than every week. But I hope things are going well with you. Do keep a lookout, because like I said, I will be announcing some significant shifts in clutter clearing over the next few weeks. The principle is not changing at all. It's just the way that we go about it, of actually saying, you know what, this is a full-time course if we want to clear our clutter, and it's going to take we need to commit to a year. So there's a different way that if you like, it's going to be presented. Love you and leave you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all your kind messages. I've had quite a few emails, people saying, "Claire, it's Easter, and we haven't heard from you," and it's really unusual because in the past you've always done something at Easter. It's that shift. That shift is happening. We're not blitzing, are we? We're trying to make a change for life. All right, I'm definitely going to stop now. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.